We farm and we milk ewes because I think Sean likes them enough, but I really just genuinely like farming sheep. They're neat, they're time sponges and everything else, but if we can get it right long term, they've got a really neat place on our farming system. I'm Mulinder. We farm here on the western side of Lake Taupo, 142 hectares. On the farm, it's myself, my husband Sean, and our 2IC, Connor.
We farm sheep and beef across our effective area, and the sheep portion, not only are we lambing breeding ewes, but we're also milking them as well.
This season we'll milk around about 700 ewes and hoggets, so yeah, balance of sheep milking, lamb finishing and beef cattle. We're lucky enough to have bought the property in December 2019. When we took over, it was a full beef finishing unit. Since then we have integrated milking ewes onto the property. We have a 30th side rapid exit herringbone shed that we milk the ewes through. We've just completed season 2.
By doing the sheep milking conversion, we've captured extra value from our ewes because we're still getting our lamb income under a breeding ewe system and lamb finishing system, but now we're capturing that extra value off the ewes of sort of roughly 200 days of milk income as well. On an owner-operator farm like we are, family life is farming life. We're really lucky that Connor enjoys being outside and enjoys sort of coming with us. I guess it's just a case of structuring our daily activities to sort of fit in around his requirements as well.
On a good day, you know, we can do breakfast together, lunch together as a family, multiple jobs on the farm together. Having the sheep is just the greater lifestyle that this will allow us to have for Connor.
This farm is in the Lake Taupo catchment, and that means we farm under a nitrogen discharge allowance. We're one of a number of farms in the catchment surrounding Lake Taupo.
It was created under a modelled system as how much nitrogen has the potential to leach through the soil profile and end up in our beautiful lake. That's something, you know, Sean and I are really mindful of, is how we farm our land and if we are going to have a positive or a negative impact on the lake.
Our nitrogen leaching footprint on the farm in our first season was about 22 units of N per hectare. That was with a predominantly beef cattle based system with only a smaller number of sheep. And now that we've gone to the milking sheep system and we've increased our ewe numbers and reduced our cattle numbers, we've actually lowered our nitrogen leaching to 19 kilos N per hectare. But at the same time, we've significantly improved our profitability, which has been great. We have a lysimeter research site that was installed under the previous owners. What that does is enable trial plots to have the leachate captured, which can then be analysed to monitor for things like the nitrogen leaching through the soil profile. With the greenhouse gas emissions on this property, we've got them from a mix of sources, but the main one on the farm is the biogenic methane from the animals, from the sheep and from the cattle. It's also the hardest part to control because our only levers to control that is with our stocking rate, which we've got to be careful to do too much with because our stocking rate sort of directly affects our profitability and our economic viability. So we're always working on trying to breed the perfect sheep for our system.
Well-farmed sheep are little environmental do-gooders. They do little piddle patches, they're light on the soil and are particularly efficient. Our farm system is solely lambs on mums, so the ewes rear their lambs for the first roughly 6 weeks, then wean the lambs, they go on to the best pasture we have available at the time and they get meal, and then we start to sort of commence milking the ewes. End of the day, the focus is on getting hoggets up to lambing. They have their first lamb as a 1-year-old and come into the system and milk just as she's cutting her 2-tooth. If she can have 2 lambs and produce me milk, one animal that is producing whatever she produces in terms of nitrate and methane is diluted over all this productivity. So I guess that's what we're trying to get to, is we don't even think at that level, we're just trying to think we want a really efficient ewe that fits into our system really well, but those are the nice things that fall out of the bottom of it. We're very much about being co-products, not byproducts, so we have milk income and we don't see the ram lambs as being a byproduct. They're part of our system and they're part of our income stream.
We're more efficient with our milking sheep than we were with a beef cattle finishing system. As of July 2023, we've reduced our carbon emissions to 4,300 kgs per hectare. That's a reduction of 1,000 over the last 2 years. To be making environmental gains at the same time as improving the economic and financial resilience of our business is just a game changer.
Our farm system is around looking after our animals well, and with that comes the benefit of looking after your land well. We've fenced off some of our really steep stuff, and we've actually kept cattle out of the top of some gully heads that are starting to get quite eroded, and pulled in some of our higher fertility tops of our paddocks and trying to push more fertility onto the sides of the hills. That way it means we can use less fertiliser on those hills, and we can hopefully just grow some more productive grass, because end of the day our key driver is just growing good grass, because where you grow good grass your roots work really well and it sucks up nitrogen. I wanted a farm because I wanted to run livestock. I've always had a bit of a, affinity, I guess, with animals and farming, and just having good quality stock, producing a good product and looking after what we farm on every day.
I guess for us it's about having just a really dynamic and diverse family business. As part of that we need to be economically sustainable, but also we want to be making sure we're doing our bit by the environment too, so that this could be a generational business that our family can continue in future years.